And welcome back to What If, and we're continuing the what if of what if Sakura was a Senju. Particularly, what if she was a Senju and we gave her the wood release? I was asked the question, I was like, she can't do that. It's like, she can't do that. It's like, not even Tenzo could do that. Even Yamato could do that. It's like, oh god, you're going to make it. And it's like, don't worry. I have no intention of OPing Sakura, and she's not going to be the end. I was like, I'm Sakura Haruno, you can't stop us, Madara, or Orochimaru, or Akatsuki. I will help and beat everyone, and Sasuke will bow for my love. No, I'm not doing that. That being said, she'll obviously be stronger than her canon counterpart, no doubt, but trust me, I don't know if we'll get to it in this video, but we're going to get to parts in some of the future videos where that chip on her shoulder that she definitely would have and has, it's going to be knocked off. Trust me. But I digress. So, last time on the Naruto What If? What if Sakura was... Whoops. I pressed the wrong button. There we go. What if Sakura was a Senju? So, we last left off with our gang in the... coming back from the Land Away mission. Haku did decide to go with them, so Haku will become a member of the village. Haku is a boy in this version also. There's versions you can make Haku a girl, sure. But no, Haku is a boy. When they meet up at the gate, they're wondering, it was like, so how's the mission? Yeah, it was pretty eventful. And then they see there's someone here, like, who's this? Like, this would be a Haku, and then I think Yuki is supposedly the name of the clan. So Haku, Yuki is like, Yuki. It's like, and why is it? Well, Haku's, and then they kind of like, yeah, we're gonna need to talk to the Hokage about this. So, sorry, I got an itch on my back here. So talking with the Hokage there, Hokage's just, so let me get this straight. You went to the way, but you encountered two B-ranked missing nin, an A-ranked missing nin, and Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the mist and former seventh swordsman, and you were able to defeat him and brought back this boy who is a ice type user and thought to be extinct bloodline. Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, George is like, yep. Oh god, the paperwork. So, I mean, initially he's like, oh god, but in the log he's like, well, I'm glad Naruto could make a friend and all that. Plus, look, they have a new bloodline for the bloodline. I thought that was thought to be gone forever. Yeah, it's the pros outweigh the cons of this. He just fucking hates paperwork. So it's like, we're gonna have a council meeting about this. So they bring the ninja council in, all that. They discuss it over. Haku obviously doesn't have a huge knowledge of the Mist Village because Haku was never actually a huge part of the Mist Village. She traveled with Zabuza for a long time. After a bit of debriefing in delegation, they agreed to accept him in the ranks. They got a gauge of his skill. That I don't imagine that Haku's a Chunin. He's a Chunin. Arguably, he's probably a Jonin, but to start with, a starting rank of Jonin would be a little too high, I imagine. So Chunin, definitely. Haku is a very level-headed individual. It makes sense that he could lead a team and stuff like that if he had to. They also say, though, that just for precautionary purposes, we are going to put you under some probation for a little bit. But you'll just be under you'll be under surveillance for around the first 6 months in the village. You'll be able to interact with the village, whatever. And we're going to temporarily assign you to team. It's 7, Kakashi's team, as they're the most familiar with you, and you're the most familiar with them. You'll be able to get some training. We'll put you on some missions every now and then. We'll give you a stipend or a small sum to start off. We'll give you a small area. And when you come of age, like say maybe around 20 years old, something like that, we will consider you will be allowed to start restoring your clan if you so choose to. And Haku is very considerate of this. How old is Haku anyway? I think Haku is supposed to be like 15 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Haku, Naruto. How old was Haku? Yeah, I get the impression that Haku was around 15. That's how it came off to me. If he was any younger, no, yeah, he was 15. Okay. So, yeah. So more or less, what's going to happen now for a little while is the D rank missions they would normally do again. They're back from those. There's no indication of how much time actually progressed between the from the Zabuza arc into the Chunin exam. We know it's probably been at least a month or so, but it couldn't have been that much longer. So for the sake of sakes, or for the sake of things, we'll put it at no more than 3 months. No more than 3 months. We'll put it at that. And it's about, and the tuning exams happened within a week's time, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, it was a week's time from when we saw it. So yeah, I'll split the difference. We'll say 2 months. So for the first month, they're doing some D rank missions. They even maybe get a C rank mission. Kakashi was very proud of the way they did it. All that. Haku's very sociable and is very glad actually having some relaxing D rank missions for a change. Just doing some things around the village, getting to know people. Haku actually, I think, would start to quickly make friends. I think Ino would actually start to be like, I don't know who's hotter, Sasuke or Haku. Ooh! And Haku would just be like, it's like, okay, she's very attractive, but man, it's like, my God, it's like fan. It's like, he's like, yeah. Naruto even says like, yeah, you're starting to develop a fan club just like the Temi. It's like, huh? It's like, you didn't see her but a few girls just going, and then Sasuke's like, yeah, you never get used to it. But meanwhile, on the team, they would actually, Haku would be a very big benefit for the team, at least for the amount of time that they'd be spending together, because first off, we know Kakashi was probably ultimately stronger than Haku. So he can aid in training Haku and some other tactics. But Haku would be good because Sakura at one point would probably be asking about Haku and his blood line release, which is the term. His Kekkei Genkai. And Haku would explain it, and she is like, yeah. I was like, I have one too, really? And it's like, you didn't? I don't think I ever saw it. It's like, no. I was like, what? Seeing as you're part of the team village, there's no look. And then she does summons a little patch of trees, and she shows that she can do the wood release, which Haku is like very surprising. I thought they were all saying, yeah, we thought so too. It's out I am a long lost. Then she's just bragging about it, but Haku's just like, yeah, but I've really only been able to work with my wood release jutsu. It's like, do you think you can teach me anything about the bloodlines? Like, and Haku, I think, would actually be very good for Sakura in terms of her understanding her bloodline. Plus, Haku is part of Haku's bloodline is water, same with Sakura's. So Haku could show Sakura some water techniques as well, at least a few minor ones, like the Raging Torrent one, I believe, is a technique, and the Water Needle one's another one Haku knew. So Haku could definitely, aid Sakura. Sakura would probably be, honestly, spending a lot of time practicing with that. Though, she'd have an easier time learning water release because she already has a wood release in this case, which is earth and water. And Kakashi even adds, like, it's actually a good idea, Sakura. You can't just rely on your woods, but particularly because it's, as far as we know, no one outside the village knows about you. And would like to keep that way as far as possible. So, after all, the wood release was a fear technique, so it actually would be good for you to learn a few non-wood related techniques apart from your own Kekkei Genkai while expanding on. So he actually hands her a scroll for like the mud wall jutsu. So Sakura's like overjoyed and starts to practice. I will give Sakura in this version credit though. Unlike in other versions, she's actually really committed to being a ninja at this point, like actually training and not just fawning over Sasuke. Though she still does that, which Sasuke just. It's like, look, at least she's training. And, meanwhile, Haku is probably aiding and helping as she can. It's like, yeah, Naruto and Sasuke is just like, well, what are we supposed to do? Well, actually, why don't you two spar? It'd be a good way to test both of your abilities. Both of your new abilities. Both of them are new abilities? Like, after all, Naruto would say that. And Kakashi would even be like, don't think I didn't notice the way you were dodging Haku's Haku's techniques a while ago. You were definitely, it's like, you've been practicing, haven't you? It's like, oh yeah, and then Naruto's like, oh yeah, it's like, and then Sasuke even looks over, it's like, that's right, you were dodging like a man. It's like, yeah, I didn't want to fall behind between Sasuke and Sakura, so I just wanted to try something else. So I've been working on my own kind of, my own taijutsu style. It's like, really? I don't know what to call it yet. It's kind of just like, like I'm just moving on instinct a lot, attacking and dodging and blocking and all that. It's a kind of a super instinct, Mega Instinct. I don't know what to call it yet. We're gonna call it Ultra Instinct, to be fair. I'm still nowhere near, still not 100%. Oh no, but this will be a good practice for you and you, Sasuke, to actually give your Sharingan a try. A try. I was like, Sasuke's like, oh yeah, I knew you had the Sharingan. I saw your eyes when you came out of that fight. So they would square off, and Sasuke was always initially the better hand to hand between the two of them. Naruto was never actually too shabby, but he was more of a brawler and had a set style. And Sasuke was always just more refined, particularly in the academy, from what we could tell. But Naruto now, first off, has just been training a lot more, so his techniques are more refined. Plus, he has his Ultra Instinct. Sasuke, and plus, so they would initially start out, and then Naruto, it's one of those things that Naruto kind of has to turn it on a little bit. Like, he has to funnel some chakra in initially. But he's got so much, and it's a great way of chakra control, more or less, because he has to use like a consistent stream without overdoing it, which Naruto would probably have been practicing at. That it's a good form of chakra training exercise. So, initially they start off, and Naruto, because he's actually been practicing, has a much more refined, he's still probably a brawler mostly, and definitely a bit instinctual, but it's a much more refined style. So initially they're kind of mean, but Sasuke clearly holds the advantage. And it's like, all right, the warm-up's over. It's like, that's right, dweeb. And then he turns on his Sharingan. Naruto funnels some chakra. And for the sake of, aesthetics, let's say when he puts some chakra into it, his hair does spike up a bit extra, and he gets a bit of a red sheen thanks to the Fox's chakra. So it's like it's kind of like what you see with Goku with Ultra Instinct. His hair gets some silver white tinges in it, and his eyes change. I think Naruto's eyes changing, let's say yes, but it's more that they turn red. They don't they don't get the slit in them, which Kakashi does notice. And then the fight goes off again. Now Sasuke, because the Sharingan can track moves, is still able to track Naruto's movements. But at the same time, it doesn't matter if you can see every move. It's like with Lee. He could see the movements coming. He just couldn't react to them because he just wasn't that fast. Naruto has the better reaction speed at this point, by far. So even though he can see where Naruto's going, Naruto is just is actually able to start landing some blows on Sasuke. Sasuke's now quickly able to start blocking the punches that were getting through, and stop him. And at one point, he tries to, punch Naruto, swipe at Naruto. Naruto dodges again, and Sasuke uses that moment to land a kick on Naruto, get him up in the air. So Naruto's in the air, get a kick on Naruto. Naruto just blocks that, pushes off, flips, nearly axe kicks Sasuke, who just boom. And then, boom, and then they both come at each other, just boom, and then they go fly back. You're just like, and Kakashi's just like, and that's the match. It's like, then both Sakura and Haku both run over to their respective mans. Haku and Naruto aren't going to be lovers or anything like that. Because Haku looks like a girl. Basically, Haku acknowledges Naruto probably is the closest friend she has right now. It makes sense. They go, it's like, you guys, it's okay? It's like, yeah, we're fine. It's like, oh, come on, Kakashi, we can go further. Yeah, but you guys could really start to hurt each other. That's not the point. Point of this was to gauge your abilities. And I must say, I'm very impressed, Naruto. You've got to be at least, you guys are both high getting, but if you were to be combined, say, that Shadow Clone Jutsu with your instinct ability, figure out when they decide to name it Ultra Instinct later on. With your technique, you're easily in the tuning level, and Sasuke, your skill overall and your relative first time inexperienced use of the Sharingan is still impressive. So you guys are easily coming along. They continue working on things like teamwork and stuff like that, training. Naruto's still perfecting, working on his Ultra Instinct and all that. You would again cut to, say, Naruto. The whole scene with Kankuro takes place relatively. There's a few minor differences with it. Sakura still holds up, which is like, seriously, Sakura, do something. The Konohama's about to get the crap kicked out of him, and you're just standing there. That, like, really, wow. But Kankuro was just an asshole anyway. Now the thing with Naruto here is, like, Naruto would still charge after him, but he would probably already think about putting his Ultra Instinct on, so he actually instinctively reacts to the the string that he can't see, mind you, but he reacts to it like, because he can just sense it naturally, like something's wrong, just gets out of the way and just, and then actually does land the punch on Kankuro, just boom, just, it's like, what? How did he pass my strings? I told you to put him down, asshole. And then he's like, you. He's like, all right, that's it. And then Sasuke, ow! And it's like, you, take a hike. And then Gaara's like, Kankuro, knock it off. You're a disgrace to our village. I apologize. I'm curious about your names as well. Note I say names because he would take notice that Naruto did avoid the chakra string, which is something a normal ninja would not be able to do. Would not be, unless he made the chakra strings visible, there's no way a normal ninja could do that. So he does take notice, but he first asked for Sasuke first. It's like, you, and I'm curious about you as well. At least not as much. It's like, then Naruto's among the next Hokage, believe it! All that. So, yeah, and the Sound 3 are watching, like, so that's the Uchiha. We'll have to keep watching. And the kid in the orange. Something's not right about him. So, they'll get their slips. Surprisingly, Sakura would have no hesitation about signing up. And, Haku's like, I'm already a Chunin, so I actually don't need to participate. In fact, they've been saying the few missions they put me on that I've been doing a real good job might get actually they might reduce my probation period, which is great. For Haku, it's like, yeah, it's like, don't worry, I'll be there to root for you. I'll be there at the exams and all that. It's like, no problem. So we'll have a week to train. I think Kakashi would feel the need to at least give them a little bit of a prep, like some sort of technique to train with or train on. Like with Naruto, with Sasuke, he'd probably give him enough extra fire jutsu. Then let's assume that's where he learned the dragon fire jutsu. And Naruto, some people would give him I've given him things like the Shadow Clone Shuriken, which would make sense, or the Exploding Shadow Clone, which would make sense. I'm wondering if I might want to go a different route this time around. I'm just wondering, like, make up a technique or something like that. I'm just thinking on that real quick in my head right now. I think we'll go with the Shadow Shuriken Jutsu. I think that's just a solid. And Naruto would get it. He could probably make about 50 Shuriken when it's all said and done, because it's a new level of chakra control with that. So they go. The scenario with the guys at the door goes down the exact same. The fight with Rock Lee. Now, here's the thing, actually. Because Haku's been there, and because he's been training with Naruto a bit more, Naruto from a pure technique standpoint is no match for Rock Lee. But his actual Ultra Instinct would put him at least, not on par, but would give him a solid fighting chance against him, I think. So because he's been training with that, plus he's been training with Haku, who's no slouch in taijutsu himself. And by the way, Sakura would have clearly learned, particularly in the time frame we gave them, Water Torrent, Water Needle, and Mud Wall, probably even the Headhunter Jutsu, let's say. So Sakura's actually the most rounded among them. But so Sasuke initially, struggles with Lee and uses the Sharingan and realizes it's just taijutsu, so he kind of ups his game a bit. Even going all out, he couldn't beat Lee, but he actually is able to go toe-to-toe with Lee. And you know what? I have to say this about Lee. I really do like Lee. Lee's an awesome character, ultimately. Lee, get your head out of your ass for a second. It's like, you will only fight with taijutsu, and I will prove that a genius. Like, you're proving that the thing that you trained in, specifically because that's the only thing you could train in, that you're better at him in that one thing you trained in, and you're making him only fight in that one thing you trained in. If Sasuke had access to all of his abilities, the fight may have gone very differently, Lee. So I'm sorry. That would have been a lousy test of your abilities. I'm sorry. I love you, Lee, but it would have been a very lousy test of your abilities. Anyway, Guy comes in. They meet Guy. Then you get the whole interaction with all the teams. Ino is hanging off of Haku and stuff like that. I think Ino would be a lot more, because Haku actually is a lot less with other than Sasuke. So I think he'd be a lot more well, thank you, Ino. And he'd actually be a lot more point, which giving your compliments would actually cause him to be like, oh, he's actually paying attention to me. Wow. He actually makes me feel a little funny, legitimately funny. I think, where am I setting that to go? I have no idea where I'm going with that. I am just completely throwing that in the dark. Anything could happen. Who are we kidding? I'm about as subtle as a kabuki mime. I don't even know if that made sense. So, yeah, you'd get Naruto just interacting as usual. You know, I'm gonna be everyone. You believe it. Then you get Ibiki showing up, and more or less everything goes about the same at that point. Once we get to the Forest of Death, again, everything, right until we enter the Forest of Death, which is where we're going to end it, everything has gone pretty much the same. Why did I even say Haku was there? Haku could have been there, at least to see him in. Yeah, I had to change it because I made Haku there when he's not supposed to be there. My bad on that. When a character doesn't die and I have to add them into the story, I have to. It's a little bit hard trying to remember. Okay, where are we right now? Okay, wait, where's that character? Is that character there? My bad. But yes, Haku's not there. Haku will be there. Oh, actually, you could make an argument that Haku is one of the proctors there. Because Ibiki wasn't the only Chunin or only Jonin there or only like ninja there. You can make an argument Haku's there. So yeah, you know what? Screw it. Haku's decided to meet up with them before going to the front and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm here to help with proctoring." So yeah, we're gonna leave it at the Forest of Death because really nothing would change at that point. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I just wrote Win, Star Wars, Super Magic, whatever, anything to do with the channel. Put that in the comments below as well. Get it at some point. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.